Alright guys, let me show you how you can capture almost every single legendary pal before you even hit level 20. Like you can see here, we already got Jetragon, both of the Frostallion versions, we got Shadowbeak, Palworld, even Necromus, and a few others. And in this video, I'm going to show you the whole setup that you can pretty much start by the time you hit level 15, 16 give or take. And also, I'm 33 here, but that's because we got a whole bunch of XP from actually capturing them. So as always, a sub to the channel would be awesome, and let's begin. Now, we're gonna need 3 pals to do this, a Chillet, a Herbal, as well as any flying mount, but at this stage I only got access to a Nightwing, and that's because we're gonna need to make our way towards the southern end of the Fabric Island so that we can grab the teleporter at the top of the Fabric boss tower so we can reach the Sunreach Isles. Otherwise, there's no other chance for us at this stage as we're lacking stamina. So grab the Chillet, he's going to be extremely useful for that swimming speed. That's going to be our quickest route over there, as swimming is going to be the majority of our journey. Then we're going to grab a Herbal. This is going to be our, well, kind of like Jesus of Palworld. In case anything goes horribly wrong, we don't automatically die. He's going to give us 1 resurrection. And then we're going to grab just one of these Nightwings, plenty of them in the early stages. You can condense them to level 1, but it's not needed. I'm going to show you a shortcut once we do get to the Sunreach Isles. And this is once again the route that we're going to be taking. As you can see, we're pretty much going to follow the shoreline up until we reach that, that Fabric Island. On the way, we're going to unlock any fast travel points as we can, but the majority of this journey will be made with Chillet. He's going to have by far the best movement speed for this stage. On the way here, we're going to make a quick stop to the Sealed Realm of Terraria. It's actually right on our way before the Fabric Island, and it gives us a quick teleportation point in case anything goes horribly wrong. But otherwise, you should easily be capable of continuing towards the isle. If your Chillet for some reason gets exhausted on the way, simply switch to the bird. Otherwise, it's going to start drowning, and you really don't want that. Now, during this whole process, you're going to follow the shoreline once again, and you're definitely not going to want to use any flying mounts. If you just use Chillet during the water phase, you're going to avoid any of the rocket barrages, so you're not going to get picked by the target system. You don't have the power now to take them down, so use that, and whenever your Chillet is about to exhaust itself, simply get back by the shoreline, regenerate the stamina, and then head over back, rinse and repeat until you reach the other side. By the way, if you encounter any large egg on the way, I highly encourage you to also grab it. You're really going to want a lot of these spells later down the line for breeding. We're simply going to continue this journey, alternating between our bird and Chillet while still being on the shoreline over there, not getting close inland so we don't get picked by any of the rockets or anything. You're going to see the system picking you up and the warning, so if that happens, dismount quickly and simply just swim or stay there for a moment. If you're following the shoreline, eventually you should reach this upper platform here that you can now take for a quick teleportation point. Once again, in case anything goes horribly wrong, like this guy is attacking me, for example, this is going to help a ton to come back later. But for the time being, we can escape and make our way all the way in the back. And once you are in the back of the island, the only thing you now have to do is basically grab your flying mount and make your way at the top of the cliff using any ledges or any platforms you can get, as obviously you don't have enough stamina to reach the top in one single go. This way, you should easily reach there. The Fabric Tower should be very close by, and what we're going to do is actually grab another teleportation point that's right in front of it. So once we got that fast travel, we're pretty much ready. This is pretty much our route that we just completed. So now the only thing remaining is to go at the top of the tower. And now we're going to use this portal, which will bring us to the Sunreach Isle. And as you can see, we just got over here without having to break too much of a sweat, actually. It went pretty smoothly. Now, from this point on, we're going to quickly grab the watchtower so we can reveal the whole map of the area. Luckily, that's going to be close, so simply follow my route towards south from this location, and you should find it very close by, a few hundred meters away. If you activate that, the whole area map gets unlocked, and this is basically the location we're gonna go to grab our boy Jetragon. And I'm going to show you a quick skip directly to his boss arena in just a little bit. We're going to basically follow these islands on the southern part of it, and halfway through we're going to find them. However, on the way, before I show you that, we're going to grab some of the max spheres in the games. For that, we're going to have to pretty much grab these junk piles. These will give us access to golden keys, and with those golden keys we can now open up many of the treasure boxes in this location. And as you can see, we're getting quite a lot of ancient spheres already, and also soul spheres to fall back on in case the first ones don't work. So we're pretty much going to rinse and repeat this as many times as we can, going to junk piles, then finding any of the chests in the area and pretty much collecting them. And if you manage to find any teleportation point on the way, activate it in case anything once again goes horribly wrong. Make sure that you do this until you have at the very minimum 4 or 5 ancient spheres and about 10 to 12 soul spheres. That should be enough for this. Once all of that has been taken care of, the only thing remaining is to head over towards Jetragon with our quick skip. So for that, you're going to head over to coordinates -429 -1552, literally on the side of the map. And if we take this portal, it's going to transport us directly to Jetragon's island on this side of the map. We're literally just going to be a few steps away from him. Now, if it's not currently nighttime for you, I recommend not engaging just yet. Wait until he goes to sleep, as that's going to make things a lot easier. In the meantime, this island is completely devoid of any other enemy besides Jetragon, so you're free to linger around and try to also uncover any of those other scrap piles. Maybe you get even more spheres in the area. There are also quite a few chests you can open up, and even some of these implants, including Swift on the side of the map, especially useful if you're trying to transform him into one of the mounts later down the line. Although keep in mind, only level 79 can you unlock him as a mount, unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to be it. But the moment night is here, we're gonna go ahead and grab him. So here is what we're gonna be doing. We're going to get close to him, and we're actually going to start with our ancient spheres. Now, I've tried this on 2 playthroughs already, and it actually goes really smoothly, even with the ancient spheres, only a couple of them that I had. So 18% if you shoot it to the head. So in this case, it pretty much got automatically grabbed in one single sphere, which is really nice. Well, with the exception of the previous one that was bounced away. On another one, it took like 3, so then I jumped to the soul, and I still managed to capture it. With the soul spheres, you're going to have a 10% chance to grab him. But this is now going to give you the dragon. He's pretty much going to be insane for damage from this point on. He's literally going to blast through everything, and you don't have to worry too much about like any enemy that you have to fight. The only caveat is that you cannot transform him into a mount until level 79 when you unlock the rocket launcher for him, which is a damn shame, but it is what it is. However, we are not done just yet. We have quite a few other legendary boss spells to capture, and the next one also involves a pretty neat trick that's still working. We're gonna actually capture a Frostallion using a cooking campfire. So let me explain. Yes, if you're familiar with it, it absolutely still works. So what we're going to do is head over to his boss location on this side of the map in the Frozen Mountains, and we're basically going to wait until nighttime so that he goes fully to sleep. Once he does go to sleep, we're going to be using campfires to set below him, which will actually set him ablaze, dealing damage over time without waking him up. The placement is also going to be very important. If you just place the campfires anywhere, they're not going to deal any damage to him. Instead, you're going to need to place it almost where his neck and torso meet. So pretty much right here, kind of like where he keeps his head, his torso, and his feet, kind of like curled up and whatnot. So if you place it over there, eventually you should find the spot, and if it works, you should see him, yeah, pretty much going ablaze instantaneously and starting to get damaged. By the way, the fire damage over time over here is going to be a percentage base of his HP, so it can actually go down rather quickly. However, in 1.0, what I noticed is that after a few seconds, the fire will still get extinguished, so then you're going to have to destroy the campfire and rebuild it once again so that you can start the whole process of dealing damage to him. Now, since he's only level 60 and since we still got a couple of ancient spheres, even if you bring him to like 75% HP, that's still over 50% capture rate with the ancient sphere, which in my case, of course, failed. And after, fat fingering everything, I got him with the soul sphere instead, or actually not even that. I got him with something before it. It was with the exotic sphere that only had an 18% chance to capture. So that's going to be two that we want. For the third one, we're going to grab, the knocked version of Frostallion at the sanctuary number 3 on this side of the map. Also in the same sanctuary, you're going to find some very strong pals as well. Level 55 knock limbs during the day. And if you're paying attention to it during the night or close to it, you should also find shadow beaks in the area. At this stage, you should also find quite a lot of these drones in the area, which are quite difficult to dodge, especially with a night wing. However, that herbal will definitely come in handy, saving you so you can run away and continue from where you were left. Which for us will be, of course, Frostallion knocked. Frostallion knocked does not sleep, mind you. It's a dark pal, so it kind of has insomnia by default. But with an ancient sphere or even with a soul one, you should have some pretty decent chances of capturing one. I got it with Runner, Legend, and Lord of the Underworld, so pretty nice. We can also go to Palladius and Necromus, another pair of legendary options. They are just a little bit further west from this location in the desert region. Their arenas seem to be more improved than what I remember. So in this case, I only had one ancient sphere left for either of them, which both of them failed. Or you can switch to the soul spheres. In my case, they did the trick. We got some nice extra legendaries. We got, the Celestial Emperor for Palladius. So now we can also use them in breeding and getting some really awesome passives for the remainder of our pal teams. Now, if you're looking for other great pals to capture that can carry you all the way into the endgame, going back to the Mount Obsidian, we can grab both Knocklim as well as, Blazimuth, both of which are great for, well, one of them is great for carrying, both of them are great for mining as well. But if you're looking for the top mining pal in the whole game, you're going to just go to the level 55 Astigon right here in his sanctuary. So he's going to be level 55, all of these are, which means they are very easy to capture with the Ancient and even the Soul Spheres. We should probably not skip on Neptilius either, because he's also really strong pal. You can find him on this side of the map, by the way. He has his own frozen island domain. So if you go to this side of the map and go inside, as you can see, we have an almost 40% chance to capture him with an Ancient Sphere in this case. So really strong option, comes with Legend and Lunker by default. So the first one you already know from the others. Lunker just increases his water, ice, and also the defenses. Definitely really strong pal. You can make this the fastest swimming mount in the game. And also some of the others are really great for damage in general and breeding combinations. That should be about what you need to do to capture all of these amazing legends in the game. And of course, also very early on, this is going to give you a big boost. It's going to require a couple of hours of investing some time into it, but it's definitely going to be worth it because in the long run, it's going to save you so many headaches. Assuming you want to become overpowered from early on. If you don't, you can continue as usual. Anyway, that about concludes it. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.